forgive me for saying this, but I can't remember the name of the cat's name in Log Horizon episode 4. I think they call him Nanya or something like that, or something like that. And one thing I really just seems to like the way that he plays and stuff like that. He doesn't play like a warrior. He doesn't play like a rogue. He doesn't play like any other different people basically in the basically you know basically in this anime or we'll say in the game or something like that or whatever it maybe is and stuff like that. I mean, he doesn't panic or anything like that. He doesn't get worried. But it seems to me with the attacks and the spells that he has and stuff, where he just basically takes his time to overreact, to not to overreact like the basically like that or what I'm trying to say is that he doesn't get really heated in the battle. He does not worry or stress or anything like that. He does not. But even though basically what he really does, he just makes sure that he's doing all he can do just by protecting his friends and and everybody else also will too, especially the girl that he really loves, which well, I wouldn't say like she really is in love with him or he's in love with her. That would be kind of weird or like that. But it seems to me that he's kind of like a protector of her, protector of her as well. Now I really do not understand what this guy really wants with this girl or something like that. I'm talking about the guy, the muscle guy or something like that. He looks like kind of like Shredder or something like that. You probably know what I'm talking about. And I'm kind of wondering about him is that one thing I really do want to say here is that he seems like he really is a big threat to basically face in this anime. But he did say he is going to come back, which I pretty much I do believe he is definitely is going to come back, and I don't think that's not the end of him yet. I do believe that he is and stuff, and I do believe that really is. Yeah, basically, yeah. And what got me in this episode is that when I was very shocked because like, Mr. Shredder or something like that, or something like that. I'm just gonna call Mr. Shredder. That's what I'm just gonna. Anyways, Mr. Shredder, he just came from out of nowhere and he was about to attack Shiro, about to attack Shiro, and then you could tell the girl she jumped in and she instantly killed the guy. It means that the guy is gone. That the guy is gone. But even though he's not really dead, he's really not. But I want people just to really understand about the view I said about the last of episode 3 is that because like there is some games out there there's some games out there with MMORPG games out there like whatever stuff that you have whatever how much money and all that other stuff and all that other stuff because I mean I don't think you won't lose your stat well I think you probably will lose some of your stats and stuff like that and maybe I don't think you won't lose like any like titles and stuff like that. Like you basically like World of Warcraft, like you Kingslayer, Patient, or other different things out there as well too. Other different things out there as well too. And it kind of reason why they have those titles and stuff like that. It's basically kind of like I wouldn't say it's kind of like intimidating people. I wouldn't think that. Or maybe should just shows of a person who is being arrogant just to show off those titles and say like, yeah, this person is dangerous because he has a glad and he has this, he has that. He's good at PvP, he's good at raids and stuff like that. That's what it basically feels. It basically feels like there's just mainly different demographics. Basically that you have basically in a game. That people do love PEE and then people do like PvP and stuff like that. And the reason why I think that this cat person to be honest with you, the cat person for me with this for what he is actually doing, he's not worried that he's gonna lose. He's not worried that he's gonna die or anything like that. But even though he swore to protect the girl, that this Mr. Shredder guy wants to come after him. And that's and but as it still seems to me that there must be something very important that he wants from her or something like that. Or maybe there's something that we really do not know. One thing I am scared of, afraid of, is that I feel like she's gonna die, and that's what I feel like. Not like die, but even as I said said before, back in the episode 3, is that when they die, when they die, they lose all their stuff. They lose all their stuff. They don't lose their titles or anything like that, but or other different things. But they just lose majority of their money and stuff like that, and then they have to get that all back so they can start over again and work them back up, as stuff, And one thing I definitely do like about this episode is that what I really do like that kind of represents kind of references of World of Warcraft and basically in general to me, because like in South Stormwind or basically Ogre or other different cities is that or other different towns and stuff like that. And one thing they will allow you to basically PvP, but if you were to do something like that, then yeah, the guard's going to come after you and they're going to kill them. They're going to kill you instead because those guards are 10 times much more stronger than you really are. Even though you may need an army just to destroy the city and storm or Orgrimmar and stuff like that. I've been through all that stuff, like raiding the bosses all around different cities and stuff. I did that. Basically I did that. But it just really just depends like what kind of zone that you really are in. Now there's two different zones that you can be in, or you may not even like it, may not even like it. The first zone is that where you go into Stormwind or go into Orgrimmar, and you hit your PvP button means that you turn on green. It means you're bright green. That means you're ready for PvP. That means you're going out there in the PvP world, or I will say the PvP zone. Now, to be honest, I really don't do that like in Question because I'm always afraid someone's going to gank me and stuff like that. Even I'm not saying I'm a coward or anything like that. But I'm just basically, I'm just saying, even though I don't mind going out there, but I won't go out there to be in questions with that. That's something I don't want to do. But there's also a second zone out there also well too. When you go back to Stormwind or Orgrimmar, you could turn off your PvP. You could turn off your PvP. That means you can do whatever you want without not being killed by other different players. But there's a catch to that. Because if you were to turn on your PvP, there is a very likely, very good possibility they can. I'm not saying they can loot from you, but they can get like bloody coins or something like that. Because it means is that they can use those coins so they can get gear and stuff like that. Because there are rewards basically, basically in raiding and also dungeons and other different events and also PvP events also well too. Also as well too. I like for me as for myself, I like doing PvP. I really do, but I just don't like going out in the zone and just go do questing without do questing just to risk myself just being carried. That's just all I'm just saying. But even though, hey, call me a coward if you want to, but even though I'm just basically just want to not have to do that, or basically not have to do that, so I wouldn't have to worry about being killed, and stuff like that. And that's the reason why it kind of simmers to me is that similar to me. Like I said before, you go to Stormwind or Orgrimmar, you cannot attack in that city because if you do, if you do, then you're going to get yourself killed by one of the cards and stuff like that. Sometimes that may happen, but sometimes it may not. But the thing is that from what I see by experience by playing this game, sometimes I think I'm not really so sure you can turn your PvP on basically in cities, but like I said, you cannot. You can attack the hordes with that. You can. I mean, the guards won't kill you, but even though there's other different places, yeah, then you will get killed. Just like with Deltarune. Deltarune does not appreciate two different functions out there, going at each other like the Horde and the Alliance and stuff like that. Because we all know they don't like each other and stuff like that. And basically in the city of the Deltarune is that uh, tolerate people killing each other. Because if that were to happen, then yes, some of the guards will do whatever they can. But even if you can't, you really can't. So there's nothing that you really can do. But even though they just try to just keep things separate and stuff like that. But that's just basically the reason why I'm just saying all this because it kind of reminds me basically in this episode. That's why the cat guy Naran, whatever you want to say, whatever you want to call him, it's just basically to me, it's just that he knows what he's doing and he doesn't want to make the girl, you know, make the girl cry or anything like that. But even though she's really attached to him, but he's really attached to her because that's his protector, something like that. I mean, well, her protector. I would say that. So yeah, anyway, so that's it for the same review. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. So yeah, it was. I know it was. I'll see you guys later. Take care. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Don't forget to subscribe. Please consider subscribing. Please hit the like button. Give me a thumbs up, and please hit the notification bell. See me and hit the notification bell as well too. That's just letting you know you guys watching my videos. So yeah, it was. This is I know it was. I'll see you guys later. Take care. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Take care. God bless. Remember, just slowly. I love you guys. Please safe. Everyone, stay blessed. Love you guys. Take care.